Hello everyone, I hope this video finds you happy, healthy, and safe. If you're new here, my name is Rhonda with Rhonda's Craft Frenzy. Thank you so much for stopping by. Maybe you'll consider subscribing to my channel. That would be awesome. I would love that so much. If you're not new, thanks so much for stopping back. I will continue on with my farmhouse decor. I have a little bit of spring thrown in here, a little bit of Easter thrown in. Whatever works. I love it. I hope you do too. I'll beat you to the craft table. For my first one today, I start out with this burlap wrapped wreath from a previous DIY. I added some florals and some simple flowers. The greenery came from Walmart and the flowers came from Dollar Tree. And then I used this metal sign from Dollar Tree that says welcome. It came with other words. I think there was a package of 3. And I just spray painted it with sand colored paint and let it dry. I painted this sign from Dollar Tree, anyone will do, with linen colored chalk paint. And I did it with a dirty brush that had a little bit of brown and black in it. I didn't want it stark white, so I thought to just use long strokes with a dirty brush to give me just enough streaks. If you would prefer to dry brush, please go ahead and do that. Once it was dry, I wanted to add lines through it as like a shiplap pattern. And I just used whatever I had straight, and it just happened to be this. Use a ruler if you have one near you. And then I used a Sharpie to make my lines and let it dry. I went over the lines that I made with that Sharpie with elephant colored chalk paint. I just freehanded this part so it wouldn't look so clean looking. I still wanted it to be aged looking. I glued my wreath that I made first, and for that I used hot glue. I held it in place until I knew it was dry. You could hang the wreath over this with jute string. You could use a more permanent glue. But I'm always changing things up, and I didn't want to do that. So if that's something that you want to keep forever, please use something other than the hot glue because it will fall apart. The last thing I did was to hot glue my welcome part on, and I added a jute bow. Super easy, and I think it's so pretty. I hope you do too, and it gives you some inspiration. For number 2, I started with this wooden bunny that someone gave to me. I mixed crimson colored chalk paint with white chalk paint to get a pale pink color. I didn't mix my paint thoroughly because I wanted it to look streaky and have different tones with the light and dark pinks. So when I applied my paint, I tried as best as I could is to stay diagonal so that my lines wouldn't smear through and my paint wouldn't mix up, if that makes sense. I used a window cling from last year that I had laying around. I added a coat of Mod Podge first to that bunny, and then I laid my cling on top of it, and I sealed it over with another coat over the top. I thought it looked a bit plain just lying there, so I thought to put some hot glue around the outside. I liked it much better because I thought like it gave it a little bit of a 3D appearance on the little brown bunny. I added ribbon around the neck of the pink one and a tiny little bow, and then I hot glued cotton balls for their cute little tails, and I gave the brown bunny a jute bow. Tiny little thing, super cute. I used this frame from Dollar General and I hot glued jute around it. This is optional, but I thought it would bring the jute out from the bunny. I'm not sure it worked. What do y'all think? And lastly, I added a piece of scrapbook paper that I liked. It came from Amazon in a book with other wooden prints. I put the back on, hot glued my bunny right on top, and it came out okay. Not my favorite, but I hope you all like it and it inspires you to do one of your own. This last one here is a redo. I painted this truck for Valentine's Day, but it was time for a change, so I pulled all the hearts out of it first. Then I painted it with a light beige color by mixing Maple's yellow hue with the white chalk paint. And this took 2 coats of paint. Once it was completely dry, I went over it with the dry brush technique with antique wax. I wanted to distress it a little bit, of course. If you've been following me for a little while, you know how much I love that. And I did end up doing both sides. Lastly, I put in various flowers that I liked in the back of the truck. You can use carrots, you can use eggs. I mean, there's so many things. You can fill it with candy. But I was using what I had in my stash, and that was it. This is complete. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I hope you all enjoyed today. I appreciate you spending your time here with me, and I hope you found some inspiration in my video. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you saw something you like, hit that thumbs up button. Don't be shy with those comments. I hope to see you next time, and until then, keep those glue guns at the ready.